continued as a bureaucrat, holding several key positions in many government offices. One of them was to be the Vice Minister of the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy from 2011 to 2014. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome for Chairman of the Indonesia Halal Lifestyle Center, Dr. Sapta Nirwandar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think we are a little bit late, no problem, because you know this after lunch and then prayer Jum'ah normally we are going to sleep or sleepy, but this time it's not, because you will have eminent speaker from global perspective, from the global man. I will invite first Rabidin Siko. Parabudin, please come up to the stage. And my friend from Turkish Delight Man, Pak Iksan Ogud. Pak Iksan, please come to the stage. Please. And of course, one of the beautiful ladies in this afternoon will also give some information about Indonesia innovation, Madam Poppy Darsono. Yes. You can see. Bu Poppy di tengah kali ya. Oke, sember katanya yang itu pakai itu. Silakan. Please, Iksan. No, you there. It's okay. In the middle is better. In the middle you can see clear, right? Okay, this afternoon we are going to discuss what the committee would like to have, the global halal industry update. Wow, update. But before we are going to discuss this, or maybe some information given by our eminent speaker, Rapidin Siko. Rapidin, you can give hand to the audience. Yeah. Then also, not only in this room, because we have 1 million, I think, in the Zoom call. 1 million, you can imagine, huh? Or less the zero, I don't know, 100,000, but that's 1 million. Iksan Ogut, my friend also from Turkey. You flying with Turkish or with Garuda? Okay, with Turkish Airlines. You can use this. Before I start with something serious, I would like to ask first the personal question to Rapidin Siko. Since he visiting Indonesia so many times, I just would like to ask, brother, how you feel this time to visit us again in Jakarta? Nice.
Assalamualaikum. It feels like coming home. It's certainly a home I've adopted, a second home I've adopted, inshallah. You know, and hopefully you will accept me as an honorary Indonesian. Yeah. Although I still need to get my batik updated.
Yeah, no problem. You can, we can buy on the stand. There's many beautiful batik, and buy Poppy production.
Sounds great.
Iksan, brother, what your food favorite here in Jakarta?
Food preference?
Food preference and favorite.
And?
Food favorite.
Well, I'm looking for Padang food.
Oh, Padang food.
And
Randang?
Randang I love.
Okay.
And I love the fruits also. The fresh fruits.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, my brother. And your Isan, what do you feel when you arrive in Jakarta? You are better than last year, last 2 years?
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. And also what kind of food, Indonesian food you like most, the most?
I'm sorry for that. I'm just eating Turkish food everywhere.
Huh?
In all countries, I'm looking Turkish food only.
Oh, you have to try Indonesian food.
Not just for you, for all countries, same feeling.
Okay, Mbak Popi, thank you for joining this afternoon. Yeah, and you will update also for the Indonesian innovation and related with the model space, I think. Okay, I would like to invite Brother Rapi to start the update of global halal industry. And Brother Rapi is Managing Director or CEO of Dinar Standard. The Dinar Standard is produced the famous and the very strategic report, SGEA, State Global Islamic Economy. And maybe you can explain more detail. That you can see from here yesterday, every time the expert quoting your report. And also from BI, Bank Indonesian report. You have 10 or 12 minutes to explain in the podium, please. Give big applause hand.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent. So I was asked to share how has the global halal economy recovered from COVID and where are we going? And as you all have seen, there's a lot of numbers we talk about, the economic impact. Even the theme of the event is recovery. How can the halal economy drive recovery for Indonesia and Indonesia in moving it forward? But I want to start with something else that is even bigger. Today is Jummah, and we all went for Jummah, and we all pray. And you know, I was just thinking this morning as Pa Akil did his talk, and we heard from the different presenters from the cosmetic sectors of halal of Indonesia and pharmaceutical. And I was very impressed that with BPJPH's goal of getting the 65 million SMEs halal certified. I don't know if you realize what this is about. And I would say, Pasapta, it's more than about economic growth. First and foremost, I think all of you who are working on bringing halal to the supply chain in Indonesia, I want to refer to a hadith of our beloved Prophet ﷺ. This is a Sahih Muslim hadith number 2393, in which the Prophet ﷺ was talking about a man who was journeying far, and he had rugged clothes, he looked very bad shape, and he raised his hand as he was making dua. He was asking for God for dua, while his food was haram, his drink was haram, his clothing was unlawful, and he was nourishing himself unlawfully. And the Prophet ﷺ said, so how can his du'as be answered? So what I want to just say is that this very important work that you're doing by bringing halal within the SMEs and the ecosystem, you're actually helping the du'as being accepted. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first and foremost, more than the economic recovery that halal brings, enable this halal food spread in the country so that your du'as are accepted. As the Prophet ﷺ said, otherwise they're not. So I think this is it's a great reminder on that. Okay, so quickly I'll just go through some numbers. Alhamdulillah, as Pasapta mentioned, you've seen a lot of our report. The goal of this work was to bring investment interest in the global halal economy and help the Muslim countries or OIC member countries and others around the world to really look at the halal economy as an investable state. And as you can see, we have now helped over 4 investment funds. We're working with sovereign funds in investing in the halal economy space. Also, we're honored that the Indonesia ecosystem has looked at the national strategy using this work. and many other effects. Back in Indonesia, I have to say I'm also grateful, alhamdulillah, for this morning we had, first of all, Rianto Sofian, who first introduced me to Pasapta Nirwander. And we had an event, I think, in 2009, perhaps the first event. And I have to say that in the 4 years of ISEF, the incredible growth you see is a good sign that, as the gentleman from cosmetics said, to grow the cosmetics halal industry, the tone from the top. So I also want to congratulate the Vice President of Indonesia and the leadership who have set the tone from the top by supporting initiatives like bringing thought leadership and a master plan for Islamic economy or halal economy for Indonesia. And alhamdulillah, we have played a role in helping towards not only provide data and report, but also help drive investment activity, and we hope to do more of that soon, inshallah. Okay, just quickly on the numbers. You've already heard of the role that food plays, significant, and what we saw in our previous report when the COVID happened, as you can see, the big drop of the consumer spending across all halal products and lifestyle sectors dropped in 2019-21, and we had projected it to grow 8% and then level off to 4.5%. By the way, you can see the different sectors. The food was the least affected during COVID. In fact, a revised figure showed food was at plus 1% relative to previously 7%. So in terms of the impact of post-COVID, what we are seeing is one of the things that the OIC countries, which are the major halal markets, are now projected to grow faster than the advanced economies, which are growing at 5.3%. So 7.0 is the latest projections as per IMF, how OIC is growing, which are the Muslim majority countries. If you look at here in terms of halal food, the global spending is in the 2019-20, which is the year right after COVID, was still negative 0.9%, but Muslim spending grew plus 1.5%. So again, this is a sign that halal food sector is continuing to grow post-COVID. Modest fashion, Ibu Poppy, was even bigger success during COVID. As you can see, the Muslim spending was plus 1% versus global spending went down in fashion in general. So overall, we see trade is also growing. And as we all know, Indonesia is attracting good investments. This is 2020-2021 numbers, 108% growth, as well as some of the drivers we identify in the report. The two things I want to mention that are driving post-COVID development of halal sector is food security and nearshoring. So today, the Muslim majority countries have now realized that they are suffering from import dependency. So today, Muslim majority countries have a net trade deficit of $67 billion when it comes to food alone. So there's now investment happening aggressively from countries like Saudi Arabia, UAE to have suppliers closer to the markets rather than, as you can see, the biggest exporter being US or Brazil or Australia, etc. And then the second big trend is the consumer trend towards healthy, halal, and tayyib. And I think this is a positive opportunity to not just build on halal compliance, but also the opportunity with tayyib. We also have the youth dividend within Muslim majority countries with the highest number of young population. And then there are other drivers such as digital connectivity from the demand side. And I want to say what is also driving and will continue to drive halal market growth is national Islamic economy strategies. Indonesia is really leading this now. There's no other country globally who's leading this the way Indonesia is. And second is government regulations working as enablers. And again, the effort by Indonesia being executed by BPJPH is a very good sign. So what is Indonesia's opportunity? Yesterday in my presentation, I highlighted this as well. Today, when it comes to halal product exports, the top 5 countries are non-Muslim majority countries. Turkey is the first Muslim majority country that is a leading player in terms of exporting halal products. Indonesia is the second largest amongst Muslim countries, but still around 9%. So Indonesia's halal product exports today represent only 3% of the total $200 billion halal product exports, okay? So this is tremendous area and opportunity for growth. And when we say halal products here, it includes food, pharma, and cosmetics only. This does not include fashion in this number. So what we have going on for Indonesia, and I think I have on the screen the data and facts, why Indonesia can really lead the growth of the halal market and be a leader. It is already the 4th in our Islamic Economy Index, but I know the vision is to have it to be number 1, and there's no reason why it cannot. Especially there are gaps in Islamic finance ecosystem in Indonesia, as well as tourism and some other categories we need to work on, including modest fashion, which needs to be exported out to the market. One thing is we've mapped, and this is from the report I'll reference at the end that was worked with Indonesia Halal Lifestyle Center and supported by Bank Indonesia. But one of the competencies I see Indonesians having, besides these facts that you have a local ecosystem, is the fact that, mashallah, Indonesia is a very organized market. You have many production players that are already in the market, and it can really contribute to over $5 billion in additional GDP growth for Indonesia. We have identified the key products and key markets in which Indonesia can grow, including in fashion, in addition to food and pharmaceutical. And finally, to conclude, you can download our report from Salam Gateway, as well as the Indonesia Halal Market Report from Indonesia Halal Lifestyle Center's website. Thank you very much.
Brother Rafi, before you take a seat again, I just have one question, because, you know, this is dialogue, right? Have to be dialogue. How the role of the certification, how also to accelerate? Because this is important related to the food and others product. What do you think?
How to accelerate?
Yes.
I think the plan that has been presented by BPJPH, mashallah, I was shocked to see, given 65 million SMEs, if you certified in a certain way, it would take 100 years. As Akil mentioned, that if you were to certify the 65 million SMEs, it would take 100 years or something. But the approach they have taken, which is self-verification of the micro SMEs, but then proper certification of the mid and large, especially with the subsidization, that it's not costing. So I think this is very helpful. I think the next step that needs to be done is to show the industry that there is benefit in it for them by helping them with their exports.
Thank you, Brother Rafi.
Thank you
for your question. Now I would like to invite my brother, big brother, Ihsan Ogut, who will explain. Before you go to proceed to the stage, I think I would like to invite one from BPJPH, who will explain about the new regulation and also related with the policy of certification and how to accelerate. Madam Fertiana Santi, PhD, please come here to this seat, representing of BPJPH or certificate agency. Please. Good afternoon, Bu Santi. Please. Yeah. Since Pak Akil already spoken this morning, you please take a seat here. Wow, very green. You are part of the eco green, right? Okay, Ihsan, please, your time is yours. SMIC man, this is important for standardization, methodology, and of course certification. is SMIC is under of OIC, I think it's covered by 57 countries, including Indonesia, right? Please, time is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Our brothers, Mr. Ikram, BBGBA chairman, and distinguished speakers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. But my time cannot be 10 minutes. First they said 20 minutes, then they said 15 minutes. Today, 10 minutes. Maybe I will use 12 minutes. This is my outlines. I will shortly give some information about. No screen. All from my pocket. Okay. Shortly give some info about OIC and SMIC, and then I will continue with the Islamic rules in our standards, and briefly give information about OIC SMIC standards. So, maybe majority of you know this OIC, or the second largest intergovernmental organization after the United Nations. It was established in 1969, have 57 countries, and they represent all Ummah in all over the world. Shortly, when you say what is SMIC, SMIC is a treaty-based and intergovernmental organization, and technical and affiliated and recognized as an international organization, has a diplomatic status in Turkey, and officially established in 2010, headquarters in Istanbul, Turkey. We are not certification bodies. What the objective of SMIC? Shortly, maybe someone played with my presentation, places are changed. We are preparing all type standards, but our priority is on halal standards for all OIC members and for Ummah. And we are looking at uniformity in the standardization for all OIC members. And we are giving technical support, assistance to member states, and important issues. We are establishing a scheme for certification in halal sector. We have 46 countries fully are active members. 43 is full, 3 are observers, like Russian Federation, Thailand, and Bosnia as observer. Indonesia with us last 2 years, 3 years. We have a vision. I will not take your time, since there's can see from our websites. We have a strategic plan for 10 years. Also some figures that just show. Here is important issue is standard. In the halal sector, when last 10 years we are working with directly with the halal certification bodies. Everybody is talking about standards, but you cannot see a single standards. Majority of the using in the sector are company documents, especially in the Europe's continent, and some countries doesn't have a real standard. Standard is a document prepared by consensus, by a recognized body, and by contribution of all stakeholders. If somebody writing a document and using in the sector is not there, these are just company document, company standards. Till now, in halal sector, there is no single standard using in all countries. OIC's policy is started nearly more than 15 years, adopt a single standard for all Ummah, but still there is a problem about some countries insist not using the OIC standards. That's just stakeholders showing. Here I want just to say something about quality infrastructure. This is a need for all countries. All countries, especially countries like Indonesia, has this system for all sectors. In automotive sector, on health sector, In all normal life, you can find the country has this system. Back to halal, someone else resisting, don't have a quality infrastructure. OIC decide 5 years to establish a quality structure for halal sector. For halal, we confident assessment. We need single standards used by everybody. For certification and accreditation, standards are key pillars in this system. This is the OIC quality, halal quality infrastructure as a pyramid from bottom to top. You will see standard right side, single standards for all sectors. For producers, in the bottom we have many standards. For certification bodies, not more standards. One standard for halal CBs, maybe 4 or 5 standards for other sectors like laboratories, like inspection, etc. For accreditation, we have only one standard, should be a single standards. All accreditation bodies have the same structure and same management understanding. And in the bottom, we need, as a top, designate the structure, control the whole system, like all over the world we have, like ILAC model. Now the system is ready. We impose this system will be used by all OIC members, inshallah. Just say something about the national recognition and accreditation. National recognition system just serve the owner country. If you insist your national recognition, you will say ask all country will be your under your control. This system just for your country, not for other countries. But accreditation for all of us, it brings one-time accreditation, accept everywhere. This mentality of the recognition accreditation. What will be done after if we have the OIC global halal quality infrastructure from consumer needs to end users? Everything will be done according to single standards and accredited, certified from raw materials, manufacturing, distribution, and in the market, in the retail, everything will be transparent, and at the end, we will have customer satisfaction. As a result, there will be real traceability, increase of consumer trust on halal, and we will have a mutual recognition, and there will be diminishing technical barriers to trade. We have a free trade, and inshallah we'll have full halal. Is our main target in the next few years. Now back to CIMIC. This is just informative. In CIMIC, technical committee is very important. All standards, all technical documents are preparing, adapting by the technical committees. Technical committees has a title, scope, work program, business plan, and the secretaries as designated countries. We have 17 committees, sorry. Each committee is governed by a country. Each committee has members. Each committee, like international organizations, from halal foodstuff to till handicraft, what our priorities on halal standards. All standards are developed a basal project approach, and just show this table. Standard development process need from the proposal to a publication for many stages. We have to wait sometimes. If you have a mature document, can be published easily. I know time. This is the table of our published standards. Already 50 standards published. 17 of them about halal issues. As a last issues, Islamic rules in OIC standards. Our main authorities here, Islamic Fiqh Academies. Standards are not holy documents. Standards are not fiqh documents. Standards are prepared by us, but include Islamic rules, Sharia rules. We have to be careful about this terminology also. There is some fatwas about the accreditation certification bodies by the Islamic Fiqh Academy, OIC, represented by all mazhab there. Accreditation bodies and certification bodies shall be owned and directed by Muslim only. I just show the name of published CIMIC standards. First, 3 standards are developed by OIC itself before CIMIC. When CIMIC established, they moved this responsibility to the CIMIC. After 5 years working, these 3 standards revised and new version after radical change published. All standards has a fatwa from the academy. There is no any controversial issues. If there is no fatwa, we are not including into the document. Just showing the standard from tourism, for supply chain. Each standard are published after the consensus of the member states. We are going to send in voting. If all members, majorities, it means more than 80% are agree, standard are publishing. We published the standard, last standard, halal gelatin, food additives. These are about the certification conformity assessment. Last standards is about hair of the skins. Our last message, OIC standard, the result of common study of the achievement of OIC members and its partners through technical committees. CIMIC is the common platform for all stakeholders. OIC Halal standards are common standard for the Muslim world and all interested parties. Unfortunately, Indonesia is not active in our activities, but member. If you ask what the role of Indonesia, we want to see Indonesia for in all technical committees, in all, because we want to be leader in halal sector. First, you should be in international platform, not be stayed local.
Okay, thank you. Give big applause to Iksanago. This is very important global standard. I just want short question, and you can give also short answer. How you are doing for the mutual recognition between members of OIC, since they have also the standard own, and also the certification also local or national standard?
This is a system need to be worked on it. We are working professionally. Already the system is ready. We are inviting all real stakeholders like standards bodies, national accreditation bodies, sit on together and solve the Muslim problems.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please. Again, big applause to Iksanago, Secretary General of SMIC. Bapopi, it's time for you. Please.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Pak Sapta, to conclude me here. I'm representing Indonesian Fashion Designers Entrepreneur Associations. I founded these associations in 1993, and to establish this to accommodate the needs of the Indonesian designers and in their efforts to promote and to market fashion product through various activities like this event now. And then APPMI also aims to be placed the talent training not only for the designers but also small medium enterprises to introduce them to the fashion market. APPMI now we have 300 members across Indonesia of 17 provinces. APPMI is the pioneer of the trend Busana Muslim, so it's the first Muslim attire trend since 1993. So APPMI see the modest fashion in the perspective of culture, fashion, and business. And of course, we see the potentials of the halal fashions because all over the world we have 1.9 billion population of Muslim. That could be a very big captive market for all the producer of fashion, also other, of course. And from 1.9 billion, it's from more than 40 countries, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so you can imagine that this every country has a different identity, in a different culture, and that could create beautiful fashions with each individual character of each country. For instance, Indonesia with the way of the Indonesia, hijabs, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Uzbekistan. I see that would be a very, very rich for the market. And of course, with 1.9 billion and then thousands of designers of modest wear, they would rather pick up the halal fabrics to make them easy. And then also to sell to the people is very easy if they have this brand halal or certificate. And then we see now the fashions, for instance, in Indonesia, my designer, about 380% of my designer member are modest designers. So more and more people, I mean the lifestyle of the people who are Muslim here in Indonesia, they would love to have a very fashionable trend fashion. So I would like to say that in the perspective of business and fashion, modest fashion is very, very demanding and very prospective. Because of that, our APPMI, actually we would like to launch World Modest Fashion Week. It should be done 2 years ago, but because of the pandemic, we have to delay. And then now we have the war, because we will invite more than 40 countries. So I hope by next year we will really can do that. Pak Sapta and all the gentlemen here should support APPMI. And then also we need the upstream incubations, like we have here Ibu Fitri. He's already launched these halal fabrics this year in Indonesia Fashion Week. So I have seen the way he works, started from the filament, from the thread, and then the way he asks the members to do the dye, the fabrics without any animal's essence. And then at the same time, it's also friendly environment. So it also goes to the program of United Nations, the Sustainable Development Goals. And of course, because many of the designers all over the country and probably other countries, they're coming from the small and medium enterprise. I think the technology and then all supporting to create this halal are needed. From the financial sectors, because most of them are small. So I think we should work hand in hand, all members of the Muslim world, in order to support our own markets, our own productions for ourselves. So the support system from B2B, business to business, government to government, government to business, as I said, that we have to work hand in hand. I think this is about the time that the Muslim society has produced their own brand, their own, their own capacity, and then for themselves. I think we have to stop looking only for the beautiful big brands like Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana, who they also started doing the modest wear. So I think the Muslim society has to start with our own. And then Indonesia Fashion Week is one of them to create that, and also Modest Fashion Week later will be the stage for all Muslim designers to be promoting their product. And it will be also beautiful if each country of each designer, they have their own identity, they have their own culture to present. So we can see the 1.9 billion will have so many variations of the modest fashion wear. So APPME, as I said, that we launched the eco-sustainable printing with zero animal ingredients and becoming a halal textile. Here, Ibu Victory is here. We support her. She has 15,000, how do you say that, eco printers all over Indonesia. So we have to give applause to her. Ibu, the challenge is that since I'm in business already 45 years and I'm heading some of associations, my friends who are a producer, who are not, mostly are not Muslim in Indonesia, they are not really happy, you see. So we have to find a solutions that these halal certificates not giving any burdens to their cost, you see. So I think we have to think together, not to give an impression that the halal certificate is another business, or how do you say that? Yeah, it's a business, it's commercialized. I think we all have to think together, because we understand that Muslims always have a kind of love and compassion, not to press other people, especially the people who are not at the same religion. And in Indonesia, 90% of the producer, the big producer of textile, apparently are not Muslim. So we have to think about that carefully. And then after that, of course, to increase the awareness that a certificate halal is very much needed. Just with all, how do you say, the best performance, the best example. So I hope that halal certificate is giving more opportunity for the business of the Muslim society. Thank you.
Mbak Poppy, same things with Brother Rapi and Pak Ihsan. I have also one question for you. There is any chance or possibility the modest patient in Indonesia can be the global brand or can be a global player?
With 280 million people and more than 1,000 designers, and then we hands in hands together with another 1.5 billion. I think this is a very big market. We have to take the market from the Western brand product like Chanel, Dolce & Gabbana. So we have to have our own.
Da Vinci.
Yeah. So I think with the
Sapta.
support of this, yeah, I'm sure we can be the master of our own product.
Wow, that optimistic. This morning, we just demonstrated to you there is 5 clusters of halal industry. First thing is food. Second thing is what we call tourism, pharmaceutical, and media creation. And also there is another cluster is of modest patient by Mbak Poppy, who is the, the expert in the modest patient since a long time. Is 45 years only on around, with also haute couture from France. Please, very young. Now I would like to invite Bu Petriana Santi from BPJPH. I think you have also to add something. This morning, Pak Akil already explained about the halal certification. You have a complementary information. Please do.
And then Mr. Ihsan Ofud, Ibu Poppy and Pak Sapta, we met yesterday as well and last night at the dinner. But prior to starting the presentation, I would like, because our friends in Zoom meeting, they want me to say hello to them. Would like to speak French a bit. Pour nos amis et nos frères et nos sœurs qui suivent virtuellement depuis Zoom Meeting, particulièrement des pays francophones qui parlent français. Bonjour, salut et salam alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much. My slides, please. Oh, okay. It is eminently such an honor for BPGPH, Indonesia's Halal Assurance Organizing Agency, BPGPH, to be part of the Indonesian or International Halal Dialogue and part of ISAF as well, 2022. We would also express our sincere gratitude and appreciation to the committees so that we may have broader insights, fruitful discussions, and clearer understanding, particularly on Indonesia's halal policy and regulations, as well as potentials and challenges in the global halal industry and ecosystem. I believe this event could also inspire and empower policymakers, government officials, business leaders, entrepreneurs to develop an actionable, practical, and high-impact halal market strategy, particularly to spur the economic recovery and growth post-pandemic and during endemic. However, I would also initially to address the importance of halal certification in the framework of Indonesia's policy and regulations as a whole. I believe that some of you here have heard about this message or presentation or slides because I presented this as well yesterday on Wednesday, last 2 days in Halal, Indonesia Halal Lifestyle Center as well. But of course, we need to deliver it again and again because still until today, we receive so many queries about policy and regulations of Indonesia's halal quality assurance. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers and participants, as perhaps mentioned earlier today, this morning by the chairman of BPGPH, Dr. Akil Irham, we have been receiving high demands and ample of proposal of mutual cooperation from various countries around the world. In total, 40 countries. From that 40 countries, there are 97 halal certifying agencies, either private or government-owned. They have submitted and uploaded their documents to our website system. We also respond to inquiries and propositions from foreign governments, authorities, international organizations, business actors, NGOs, and so on. President Jokowi and Vice President Ma'ruf Amin have initiated a policy to make Indonesia a global hub for the halal industry and ecosystem by 2024. Not a very long time, of course, and it has been envisioned as a driving force behind the economic growth and in order to realize the dream of Indonesia Maju or Indonesia moving forward. It is indeed not a coincidence, as this year is the very first time Indonesia has held the Group of 20 presidency. The tagline chosen is Recover Together, Recover Stronger, urging countries to work and support each other as to recover together, grow stronger, and embrace sustainable development. This G20 presidency, as President Jokowi has stated, is a catalyst for an inclusive global economic recovery. And to spur the economic recovery, Indonesia needs to maximize the potentials that has not been adequately tapped, such as the halal industry and ecosystem. This niche sector has a lot to offer, particularly as halal has shifted into a global standard quality and gastronomy lifestyle, mainstream market, and trade competition trend. It has transformed into an ecosystem that attracts the world's attention due to its huge market and promising value. BPGPH surely is mandated to facilitate and encourage the economic recovery through the development of the $1 trillion, I repeat, $1 trillion halal industry and ecosystem, such as food and beverages, fashions, cosmetics, pharmaceuticals, tourism, media and recreation, and financial services. This is the SGIE reports 2022 issued by the Dinner Standard. As mentioned earlier, that Indonesia is in the 4th rank in the global Islamic economy indicator and ranked number 2 for food and beverages. So Indonesia targets to be the first rank in the sector food and beverage in 2023 and in the sector fashion, modest fashion in 2024. So hopefully it will become reality. So the BPGPH, we would like to share again and again these 4 paradigm shifts from the BPGPH because this is really interesting. BPGPH perceives 4 paradigm shifts on halal. Paradigm shift of juridical perspective, philosophical and sociological perspective, digital transformation perspective, and economic perspective. From the juridical perspective, Law number 33, 2014, Law number 11, 2020, Government Regulation 39, 2021, have in effect set a new legal framework and led to major changes related to halal policy and regulations. From previously voluntary and now mandatory, and from religious civil society authority to state authority. The regulations imply the state guarantees and facilitate the availability of halal products and services in the context of halal consumer protection. The laws also empower the BPGPH as the key government agency to oversee halal assurance. According to the regulation, most of products entering, circulating, and are traded in the Indonesian territory must be halal certified. The question is, which products? It is explained clearly in the decree of the Minister of Religious Affairs, KMA 748/2021, regarding types of product and consumer goods product mandatory to be halal certified, as well as the decree of the Minister of Religious Affairs, KMA 1360, regarding materials exempted from halal certification obligation. Another query is, can non-halal products can still be exported to Indonesia? Of course, definitely yes. These non-halal products are provided with a clear information or ingredients of non-halal. Notwithstanding, some may feel halal regulations discourage the ease of doing business. Some have questioned unnecessary burdensome scrutiny and costly requirements for halal certification and labeling, and insist that they fall under the definition of technical barriers to trade and violations of the General Agreement of Tariff and Trade, or GATT. So international institutions like the EU have, or the WTO have expressed such concerns to the BPGPH. So, the paradigm shift of the economic perspective, let's dissect closely the opportunities and challenges. The government has established halal industrial areas and provided fiscal and non-fiscal incentives. Domestically, Indonesian Ministry of Industry has estimated the potential value of the halal market and economic activities at $303 billion this year alone.
Bu Fitriana,
Yeah.
please can you make it short, please?
Yeah, okay. Okay, Pak. And also, Dinar Standard has estimated the figure $2.3 trillion in 2024. Therefore, Indonesian halal policy and regulations should not merely be seen as TBT or GATT, but a huge opportunity and great potential alternative value chain, which in turn contribute to the economic growth and welfare of the people. So one could argue that halal tariff provisions are relatively small and far below the trade volume, transaction value, profits, and benefit to companies' image and reputations. And this is the paradigm shift from the philosophical and sociological perspective. So speaking about halal, I make it short. Speaking about halal is not merely speaking about religious or religion or religious compliance. It is not merely speaking about 237 Indonesian Muslims population or 2.1 billion Muslim around the world, but we're also speaking about other people, believers or non-believers who are very concerned about halal, healthy lifestyle, animal welfare, food conservation, and modern civilization, I believe. And this is the paradigm shift from the digital transformation. Interestingly, 75% of Indonesian population have access to social media, and of almost 80% of them are Gen Z. So that's why we need to create this halal ecosystem with digital system, barcode, QR code, and so on. So as you can probably know that this is the timelines of the types of products that mandatory to be halal certified. This is the halal certification process. This is via importer and official representative. This is the sample of certificate halal. I would like to highlight a bit, please, Mr. Sapta, because we often receive complaints about this. This is the sample of certificate of halal. This is the samples of halal decree. So, we would like to advise for those who are involved in export, import, and business. You must aware of the regulations and must carefully differentiate between halal certificate and halal decree. This is important because products entering, circulating, and are traded in the Indonesian territory will definitely use the halal certificate issued by the BPGPH, not the other first. So this is the exporting countries targeted by Indonesia. There are 21 countries. So this is our articles in the Jakarta Post about the policy and regulations of Indonesia's halal quality assurance. For those of you who would like to enrich your insights about this, we encourage you to read this as well. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speakers and participants, in November, second week of November, inshallah, Dr. Akil will hold H20 or Halal 20 event in Lombok, inshallah. So we would like to invite all halal certifying agencies across the world, research institutions like Dinar Standard, and then government, ministries, institutions, or private sectors as well. So we would, because we perceive that these countries, members of G20s, are benefited from this halal industry and ecosystem. So we would like to invite you all to the H20 event in Lombok next November, inshallah, before the G20 summit, inshallah. So hopefully this will contribute to improve the welfare and prosperity of the countries as well as our people. May God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, help and bless our efforts. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Give a round of applause for Madam Tiana Suanti PhD, who explained all the detail about the, the policies, new policies of the certification in Indonesia, especially running by BPGPH. Okay, I think because, you know, the time is running, yeah, only just few minutes, I think I would like to invite our eminent speaker, just a closing remark or two words, Brother Rapi, because there's still two sessions after this. Allow me to ask you, maybe from Brother Rapi first, please, you have a closing remark or short, what they call, advice, something or recommendation from your side, or update the update of global halal industry nowadays, please.
I think just that when we hear about modest fashion, I'll just give an example. The quality of the fashion here in Indonesia, whenever I come, I take some back to Dubai or to US for my family or friends. They all always wanted more. So I was looking for Nure brand or, you know, Diang Pilangi, etc. And as you mentioned, with the proliferation of digital economy, I think that's a great growth area. I know in food, BPJPH is driving this effort along with Bank Indonesia, with the SME development and IHLC. So much is happening, but I think on modest fashion, a lot can still happen. Thank you.
Brother, just my advice, don't only just admire or recognize the good modest fashion, but have to buy to bring your family, right? That's better. All right. Oh, good, Isan. Isan, oh, good first, right? What your final closing speech from your side, from SMIC?
Thank you very much. As OIC and SMIC, we invite all Muslim brothers and sisters to be unified under the OIC model and help us not will be more unified and help the trade of Muslims and remove the barriers. Don't bring the extra rules and just follow the Islamic rules is enough for us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shukriya, my brother Iksan Ogut. Bu Popi, please.
We have to be the master of our own market. And then togetherness, we can create our product, branding product, and then for us, the Muslim society, 1.9 billion.
Pak Popi, modest fashion not only dedicated for women, please also think about the men. Yeah, that's important.
For the military.
Oh, okay. Even for the military, he doing also for the. This is for the uniform. My sister Santi, vous voulez parler en français ou en anglais, please, s'il vous plaît.
Thank you very much, my father, Pak Sapta. Not my sister, my father.
I would like more younger. They didn't know that father, young father. Okay, no problem. Grandfather is okay for me because I am just 58. You know, 58 plus.
Yes, thank you very much. I would like to use this opportunity to once again to promote the H20 held by the BPGPH by Dr. Akil Irham, chairman of BPGPH, and we would like to encourage all of you to enliven and succeed this event in Lombok. We will hold this event in Lombok, inshallah. We will invite halal certifying agencies across the globe and also governments, institutions, privates, and so on. And of course, this is an important event because the G20 countries have the most great per capita economy for each country as well. So they are surely benefited from the halal industry and ecosystem. So they need to support as well this H20. Thank you very much, Pak Sapta.
Thank you. I think we take a photo of the session for the speaker, please. Yeah, before the master of ceremony tell, because we don't have time, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Sapta Nirwandar and all distinguished speakers. Let's take a group photo first, and of course, prepare your warmest smile to capture this moment. This moment has to be commemorated. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them another round of applause. Okay, thank you very much, Bapak Sapta and all the speakers. That was very enlightening yet refreshing session, I guess. And be ready for the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th International Halal Dialogue 2022 will proceed to our next discussion session with, of course, an exciting theme. This time, we will talk about surviving the pandemic, countries' experiences. Therefore, I will hand the stage over again to our moderator, who is already familiar to us. Please welcome Bapak Muhammad Gunawan Yasni, SAAK, MM, CIFA, FIIS, CRPCA. Please welcome. The stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Mbak Rahma, our mistress of ceremony. Okay. Again, honorable speakers, honorable attendees, especially Pak Akil, the CEO of BPJPH, and of course my mentor, my professor, Bapak Sapta Nirwandar. To all of you, this is a very hard time because this is a very heavy time to digest a discussion, I guess. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, la hawla wa la quwata illa billah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa ba'd. Let me summon some of the honorable speakers. Firstly is Dr. Muhammad Chaudhry, the founder, the president, and the CEO of Islamic Food and Nutrition Council of America, IFANCA. Secondly is Brother Ahmad Cho Min Hang from Korea. Welcome, doctor. Please have a seat. Yeah. And thirdly is Brother Ibrahim Lee Chuan from China. All right. Assalamu alaikum to you all, the honorable speakers. Okay, let me just introduce our first speaker, Dr. Muhammad Chaudhry. Dr. Muhammad Chaudhry is the founder, president, and the CEO of the Islamic Food and Nutrition Council of America, or abbreviated as IFANCA, a pioneer in halal compliance standards throughout the food and pharmaceutical industries. He is a career food technologist who holds a PhD in food chemistry from the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign, Illinois, United States of America, an MSc in food science from the American University of Beirut in Lebanon, and BSc honors and MSc honors in food engineering and technology from the Agricultural University, Faisalabad, Pakistan. So welcome to Jakarta, welcome to Indonesia. Second is Brother Ahmad Cho Min Hang from Korea. Completed technical capacity development program organized by JAKIM Malaysia. Advisor of Seoul Tourism Association, board member of Salam Nuri Incorporated Association, an NGO. and a member of the Interfaith Dialogue Council of the Korea Conference of Religious and Peace, or KCRP. Last but not least is our brother Ibrahim Liu Chuan from China. He has a master degree of food science from Shandong University of Technology. He is the director of Shandong Halal Certification Service in China, and also a counselor of China Certification and Accreditation Institution. So our topic today is a bit, I think it's a bit informal, because all of the honorable speakers will be sharing to us, with the audience here, about, well, some kind of story about surviving and thriving through the pandemic crisis in each own country of the speakers, right? And I think I must a little bit give directions how it is good for the halal, halal affair, I would say the halal affairs, halal business in your country, in your each country during the pandemic. And even in some cases, we heard that even it became more popular during the pandemic, the crisis of the time, because halal means good. Halal, as it is said in the Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 168, God says, Ya ayuhan nas, kullu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiban. So he speaks gracefully to all humankind, not just the Muslims. So humankind, please, only consume the halal and tayyiban things, right? So I would like to give Dr. Chaudhry our first opportunity to share the story about how survive, how thrive is the halal thing in your country. Yes. So, Doctor, time and place is yours first. For 10 minutes, please. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you, moderator, for kind introduction and setting up the stage for us to discuss a very important subject, that is halal and tayyiban, in our own countries, in our settings. But first of all, I want to remind all of us that today is the start of Rabiul Awwal, the month of the birth of our Prophet, who was sent to us by God, as God said, وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. So he was and continues to be mercy to the mankind. And that means halalan tayyiban, halal and good, is not only for Muslims, it's for everybody. Okay. And we started using halal is for all motto in our organization. Thank you very much for BPJPH management, the Ministry of Religious Affairs, the hierarchy, the excellencies and honorables for giving us this format to discuss common things. This pandemic is not the first pandemic in the world. It has been very important for the last 3+ years, and it has taught us something: how to survive, not only survive, how to excel. We have, over the last 3 years, our organizations and the other halal certifiers, and the businesses has learned how to keep working, keep producing, keep the activity and economy busy even when you are not physically going to the office. Okay? So one of the biggest activity halal certifiers have is doing the physical audits of the industry to make sure everything is done properly. So over the last 3 years, we learned how to do the audits virtually using phones and cameras and other systems. And I don't think we are going to go back. Part of this will continue. This is what COVID-19 has taught us. As an organization, we started 40 years ago, basically to promote halal through education and awareness. At the second stage, we started certifying the products, food and non-food, pharma and nutritional products, halal for the global market. At the third stage, we also started taking action on the social areas. With our strength with the industry, we started reaching out to the international organizations like UNICEF, UNHCR, and many of the national organizations to address the issue of food security, or you could say food insecurity, and health equity. Okay. And that has become our more important mission lately, more important than issuing the certificates. So we have created partnership with UNICEF to do two things. One is to address the hesitancy or hesitance for vaccines, and also help UNICEF provide COVID vaccine into 178 countries. With UNHCR, that's the Commission for Refugees, we are also creating partnership along with another 24 Muslim organizations to collect the funding from zakat funds and provide the resources to the refugees. And if you all know, majority of the refugees these days are Muslim, 8 to 10 million, I suppose. And with that, the way program is written, every penny coming from zakat resources would be spent on direct programs, and the management cost would be borne by somebody else. Okay. I also want to acknowledge and thank my colleagues. Many of the certifiers are present here today, and in individual discussions, please do reach out to them also to share their stories too. With this, I'm going to stop, and I'll take the questions or comments at the second go around. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chaudhry. A very insightful sharing from you. And next time and place, I would like to give to Brother Ahmad Shomen Hang from Korea. I think the committee should help bringing the PowerPoint of Brother Ahmad Cho. Is it already there? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, time and place is yours for 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I'd like to express my gratitude, give me a chance to here today brief some, share information of Korean halal industries. Okay. Okay. Can you open my slide? No, it's not mine. Rich. All right. Thank you. Really, it's first time to introduce Korean halal industry. Just to brief, our Korean Muslim Federation Halal Committee, some contents. It's a brief for Korean Muslim Halal Committee. And second is current situation in halal industry. So one is a collaboration with the Korean government and for halal industry. Fourth, improvement and difficulties for certification. Last one is drive and expectation. Yeah, we Korea Muslim Halal Committees, as you know, it's based on the Korea Muslim Federation. Korea Muslim Federation is called KMF. It's the only Islamic religious community in Korea registered with the Korean government. And we began to halal certificate in 1994. But at that time, just we are not systematic. Just we document review for exporting company, they need a certificate only. Then in the 2010s, Korean government have a new policy that the support for halal industry was necessary to begin to support halal certifications. In particular, the growing trade problem with China has led to interest in the Muslim market as an alternative market. KMF Halal Committee certified more than 363 companies and 1,374 items in last year, and it is increasingly gradually. This is our graph. Also, we signed MRA with the global halal certificate body. It's like JAKIM and Singapore MUIS and TICO, SIDA, and IFANCA as well. Korean halal industry is, I wouldn't skip, it's already, other speakers already mentioned. According to the Korean Ministry of Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs, Koreans export to food and agricultural products to Islamic world exceeds $1 trillion in 2020. It is, just report the market research is 22. Is expected halal market size. Despite of the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of Korean companies supplying the halal certificate to increase continually. As you know, the demand of the Korean products, food and cosmetics has been increasing along with the Korean wave, like K-pop and K-drama in the Middle East and especially Southeastern Asian countries. So we, KMF, also collaborate with the Korean government. Korean government to support the certificate fee to companies applying the halal certification, and the Korean Food Research Institute, KFRI, issued the product analysis and reports, especially for two kind of reports for porcine and alcoholic. In addition, to support both rental fee for the both of domestic and foreign exhibition, and actively support marketing through business counseling and free translation at exhibition. Most important thing is that certified products enter the Muslim market. Small and medium-sized companies that need the assist export service to provide through Kotra or AT. Also, Korean government tried to collaborate with the various Islamic countries before COVID-19 pandemic and during the pandemic as well, which run and organized in charge of the halal industry, though jointly enter this mega market. It is also expanding Muslim amenities to preparing halal in restaurant to prayer room in site-owned tourist attraction to attract Muslim tourism. As part of this, Korean tourism organization has been running to project these designated Muslim-friendly restaurants across the nation for 6 years. Since 2015, not only the central government, but also local governments are drawing up policies to support certification and export halal products. In addition, the Korean government is collaborating with the export and relations workers on way to nurture halal industry in various fields. It is also trying to reflect and promote these results in its policies. Here is our improvement and difficulties. So according to the needs of these many Korean companies, KMF signed mutual recognition with global halal certification bodies externally and established certification system to meet the need global certificate institutes establish an integrated information system and continually train to strengthen the capabilities of auditors internally as well. Alhamdulillah, last June already Korean Muslim Halal Committee finished the assessment by BPJPR, already completed the NC also. We inshallah hope so soon sign MRA, inshallah. Even the COVID-19 pandemic, KMF's halal auditing was conducted 100% on site. Not, we didn't do any remote assessment. However, since it is minority Muslim countries, it is difficult to secure manpower such as Sharia export. You see, global halal standard certificate body requirements, it is Sharia body, most important thing. But as I mentioned, we are minor Muslim countries, not so many Muslims also. Even though also there is no any Islamic university, so few Muslims studying overseas, like GCC countries, but not they're studying all Sharia. They're studying other languages and culture and something history like this. It is main our difficulties thing. This last one is the tribe and expectation. Muslim demand for halal food, beverages, medicines, health, functional food, and cosmetic and household goods in Korea is increasing. In particular, the cosmetic and pharmaceutical markets are seen as the early stage of our halal certification and have a good potential. Especially, Korean cosmetic is really good quality and nice brand design. So many, Muslim countries, there are many demands, especially cosmetic. But we are not ready for the certificate. We didn't, we have laboratory for the analysis the cosmetic yet. This trend is expected to continue in the future, and KMF will proceed the certification responsibility and transparency to meet these needs and meet global certification standard. Inshallah. Thank you for listening. It's I just brief our Korea Muslim Halal Committee. Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Ahmad. All right, two countries, America, Korea, and you both have a slight different story about halal and the moral story behind it. So let's hear, last but not least, from Brother Ibrahim Liu from China about the halal story in China. Time and place is yours, brothers.
Assalamu alaikum, dear brothers and sisters. Today I'm very honored to be invited by BPJPH to participate in the International Halal Dialogue. Thank you. I would like to take this opportunity to introduce our experience and feedback about the pandemic based on three parts. The first one is the respect and development of Islam and halal food in China. We will provide feasible soil for the economic recovery of the international halal industry. Islam has been introduced in China since the 7th century. In the long years, Islam has been continued and developed in this ancient and civilized land of China. Okay. Islam has become one of the native religion in China. At present, there are 10 ethnic minorities in China, including Hui, I'm Hui, and Uyghur, Kazakhs, and Sala, Dongxiang, who are adopted Islam as their religion. Here are some numbers about the Islam in China. First, the Chinese Muslim population is about 23 million. It's only 2% population in China. We have more than 35,000 mosques, and we have 45,000 imams and mullah in China. Now, all over China, we can still see many famous mosques in a history of hundreds of years. China halal food culture has a long history. There are many well-known halal restaurants and halal food in China. There are many delicious halal restaurants in my city, where I live, all of which are century old. Now halal certified food processing facility, including producers of feed, breeding, slaughterhouse, food machine, food activities, cosmetics, food packaging, logistics. Halal certification has covered all the industry in the entire food industry chain. Therefore, we fully believe that a long-term development of Islam and halal food in China will surely provide a good soil for the future economic recovery of the international halal industry. Moreover, the market of halal products, known as a development driven by the popularity of halal products among non-Muslim consumers because these products are safe. Second one, the government, excellent framework from the worldwide halal sector's economy. Recovery following the pandemic will be provided a number of government incentive measures for the foreign trade companies and new industries brought on by the pandemic. The pandemic has caused a huge impact on the global industry chain and the supply chain. While celebrating the restoration of work and production and the overall economic recovery, the government all over the world has paid special attention to stabilizing foreign trade and foreign investment. Effective preventing the breakage of international industry and supply chain. Chinese government also efforts to establish foreign trade and smooth international logistics. Has been created more possibilities and provide a greater drive for the recovery of the development of local international trade. On the other hand, many new business opinions have been coming out, such as the online shopping, like Lazada, like Shopee. Here is also very popular. Many factories develop more and more halal products to sell online. And some new material, new product like the pre-made meal, like the, how to say that, artificial meal, also the new opportunity for the halal industry. They are all need a halal certificate. But due to the rapid changes in the product and the complex raw material and the processing of such factory, such product, is also a great challenge for our halal certificate body. So the pandemic was also a good opportunity for us to explore other model ways and then to improve our resource, like the remote auditing, like the training of our auditors. The third part is the in-depth development of our certification body, like Shandong Halal certification. We will strive to make its own contribution to the economic recovery of the halal industry. Since 1990s, Shandong has been we have been started for halal. It's called halal supervising, not halal certification, and inspection for the food facility. Over these years, we have made some remarkable achievement in the field of halal food. On the exporting, on the employment of the Muslim workers, and we published some society charity fund. Now we have more than 3,000 Muslim slaughtermen have currently held by the more than 19 slaughterhouse, halal slaughterhouse. And we have more than 2,000 Muslim people who find a good job in the food factories. Shandong Halal certification has done certain work for the development of the economy, for the health, for the education, for health, and for the undertaking of Muslim villagers in Shandong. We cooperate with the Shandong Islamic Association, created many charity projects, such as the Elderly Muslim Welfare Fund and the Muslim Education Fund. Especially during the pandemic, we also do some project for help the Muslim village. According to the requirements of certification and accreditation administration of China, it's called CNCA. In 2015, we established the independent assessment body, Shandong Halal Certification, SHC. SHC is specially SHC is for Halal certification service. It's an independent certification body. So far, we have recognized by the many countries like Malaysia, Saudi, SFDA, like Singapore, Kuwait, many countries all over the world. And we have accredited by ISO 17065 and by GSO standards for Halal certification body. In the pandemic, Shandong Halal will continue to improve our internal management system, and we enhance to competence of our personnel who are involved in Halal certification, like our auditors, our Sharia auditors, and our workers. We have established and updated our technical platform, such as a certification management system and the resource of a database of the halal materials. We will lay the foundation for our next development. As the pandemic separated, Shandong Halal activity played the role of international halal certification to facilitate the trade and help to improve the environment of the economy develop, support the recovery and the growth of the international halal industry. I think the halal is our role. It's 1,000 years history, and now the conformity system is only a method for its certification, halal certification. This is the halal certification, my idea. So we strive to ensure halal compliance through applying halal standards and international recognition and internationally recognized conformity assessment procedures. we hope we can contribute to enhance the trust on halal certification and separate and promoting the beautiful Islamic culture all over the world. Finally, I would like to express my sincerity thanks for you all. Let's work together for the halal certification. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Liu. I think we have completed all of those moral halal story behind each country, America, Korea, China. But since Dr. Chaudhry here, I think it's the most experienced one among us here, right? The most senior also, the oldest one also. I would like Dr. Chaudhry to share some closing statements, perhaps, some closure about what we have really learned about the moral halal story behind your country, Brother Cho country, Brother Liu country. Perhaps you can share it as in international, global halal moral story. So please, Dr. Chaudhry.
Thank you very much. That's a good question. I missed it when I was speaking first time. When COVID started, my government initially did not realize that it's a real thing. We kept avoiding it. And US government, the state governments took some time to decide how the people can operate from the offices. So it was middle to end of March when my state governor told the staff and everybody that they could start working from home. My organization realized 4 weeks before that, we sent the entire staff, we had about 60 people in the Chicago office. We sent everybody home, well equipped with laptops, printers, and enhanced cell phones so they could operate remotely. For 2 years, we operated remotely. As far as the business is concerned, thank you. We realized that we were getting a lot more requests for certification from the food service outfits, especially for export to the Middle East. Our certification business for food service increased 10 to 12% during first 3-4 months. And it settled down during next 2 months, and next year and a half, it came to pretty much as regular level. We realized that some of the hotel restaurant industry might have panicked a little bit. They tried to fill up the pipeline with the product so they don't run out. This was one major thing we noticed. Domestically, we still noticed that the delivery companies mushroomed. The Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, for them it has just become a normal business, pick up the food from the restaurants and to deliver. So more and the people have gotten used to getting restaurant food freshly delivered at home so that people don't have to cook. So the amount of the product which was semi-prepared or what we call scratch decreased and the prepared meals increased. That has been the trend, especially in USA and Canada, because those two countries we observed very closely. And I'm sure the trend might have been similar in other countries also.
Thank you very much, Dr. Chaudhry. Big applause to all the speakers, Brother Cho, Brother Liu, and Dr. Chadri. All right, I have come to my end of session, I guess. So I'm going to give it to Sister Rahma. For me, from all of the speakers, we would like to say, Nafu minkum assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let us give big applause for the moderator, the wonderful speakers. Thank you very much, Bapak Muhammad Gunawan Yasni, and all remarkable speakers. Same as before returning to your seat, kindly take a group photo first on the stage. Okay. Let's count together on the count of 3. 3, 2, 1. Okay, let's have another shot. 3, 2, 1. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. That was very enlightening and enriching session. Thank you so much, sir. You may cordially have your seat. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4th International Halal Dialogue 2022 will proceed to our last discussion session. And this time, we will uncover the topic of global halal industry, future perspectives. And without further ado, I will hand the stage over to our inspirational moderator. Please welcome again, Bapak Sabta Nirwandar. Bapak Sabta Nirwandar, you may take the floor. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please give a big applause for this last discussion. Thank you.
Rama, what you wearing this? Modest passion from which brand?
Tenun Gaya by Wigno. This is a very remarkable masterpiece. Yes.
This value only 3 million rupiah.
Oh, really? Wow! How do you know? Okay, Bapak Sabta, the stage is all yours now.
Okay, I think this afternoon we are going to continue our discussion or our halal dialogue globally, but dialogue between me and only just for the speaker due to the time limited. But anyway, we learned many things from this morning until this afternoon. I think from different perspective and also from different country. I think that's interesting. I just learned from Korea, from China, from America. Okay, this last session, but not least, is going to be interesting also, this session. I would like to invite Mr. Abdal, is here, Mr. Abdal. And also Pak, it's very small, I cannot read. Mana Rahma, you can help me. Pak Yandra, ya, dari IPB, mana Pak Yandra, please. Ya, kita. Give big hand from Professor Yandra from IPB, Bogor. And Pak Abdanur Hidago Palio, I think this is from Chile. From Chile, right? Yeah, dari Chile, yeah. Please, Pak. Please come to the stage, please. And Pak Jaka Gabaldi, this is also from Halal Council. Please. Yeah, please come to the stage. Mahmud Tandri. I think Pak Mahmud, where is Pak Mahmud? Please join in this interesting conference or the Halal Global Dialogue. And there is two from virtual, from online. I will check from online. There is our brother Fazal from Singapore. You already online. You already on video, Hardin. Please check. And there is second one from Baruch Simon from Lithuania. Wow, this is far away. He's also online.
I'm here.
Hello, good afternoon or good morning for you from Lithuania.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Pak Abdul, there's something still busy time in next door maybe. I will start to give some according the schedule. Maybe I would like to give a chance from Indonesia first, Pak Yandra. You can explain a little bit about the global halal industry perspective, maybe special in medical cluster. Maybe you can see also from food perspective and other things related to the food, Pak Yandra. And please, you take your time, but still, because we are running the time, 10 minutes is possible. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I would like to present my presentations about the halal blockchain technology. Or actually it's halal supply chain, but because now we are already in digital technology, already in what we call the digital era, that's the best technology right now for traceability, to trace the halalness of the product, is using artificial intelligence and blockchain. This is about me. I'm the lecturer at the Department of Agroindustrial Technology in IPB University, and also working in the halal science centers, and also in what we call the brain is blockchain, robotic and artificial intelligence network. That is, we are now working with BPGPX to make the halal certification, to reduce the lead time for halal certification from maybe 60 days. Right now is maybe 30 days. Hopefully, in the near future, very near future, it could, achieve the target to 21 days using artificial intelligence and blockchain technology. So this is actually the first point of my. Actually, I have only 5 points of presentation. First is about what we call the transformation of conventional supply chain management to modern or digital supply chain. Conventional supply chain is very long, is not recorded. The data is not recorded appropriately in the good information system, and also centralized, meaning that using central database, and also halal traceability will be difficult because of the forgery, will result in delays in halal audit process, and also could lead to food fraud, food adulteration. So we have to hijrah, in Islamic word, hijrah. In Western word, English, we call it transformation. Yeah, transformation conventional halal supply chain into what we call the supply chain with 3T: trusted, transparent, and traceable. Using the technology, in this case, the best technology right now is blockchain and artificial intelligence. So this is actually the new system. Yeah, you can see the difference. Yeah, halal traceability blockchain use distributed database, so everybody can see the database and nobody can cheat. So we will have what we call trusted, traceable, and transparent halal system. So you cannot mix the pork with beef and with other non-halal ingredients, including maybe, like additional additive and so on. So why blockchain is 3T? Because the data is stored in what we call the block. Yeah, block is like a paper. Actually, blockchain is a computer program. It's very abstract. It is a computer program, but it can be illustrated as the block is the paper and chain is its paper, or its nodes is linking with the other nodes. So when you try to change or to, revise illegally, change illegally the nodes or the records, you cannot do that. Yeah? So that's why it's transparent, immutable, and also traceable. So now using blockchain, you can trace the originality of the product, authentication of product in only seconds. Yeah? Compared to conventional manual, it takes maybe 1 month to trace, this is halal or not. But using conventional information system, you use computer, but you use traditional or conventional information system, it takes maybe 1 week. But if you use blockchain technology, it takes only seconds to trace the content, the halalness of your product. The challenge is about the technology, the mindset of the leadership, knowledge and skill, and also infrastructure and regulation. So the challenge for the application of blockchain technology is not only about the technology. Yeah? If we can make the technology, if we can develop the technology, then we think about the mindset, people mindset, leadership mindset, about knowledge and the skill of the people. Not many Indonesians right now knows about blockchain. Not many Indonesians knows, have a good skill about the blockchain. And also about infrastructure and regulation. Yeah, right now there is no regulation in Indonesia that regulates, or speed up the implementation of blockchain technology. This is the strategy. We have to, educate people. We have to what we call change the mindset of the leadership of the leaders, and also build the good infrastructure for our blockchain technology. And this is the research about blockchain in IPB University. We have been conducting research about the blockchain technology in our university since 5 years ago, since 2017. And right now we have quite a few. The result, prospective result, as can be seen in the slide. We are designing smart contract, halal beef agro-industry supply chain, and also the blockchain-based halal industry beef processing supply chain in collaboration with many institutions, including Ministry of Education and Culture, of course, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Religion, in this case BPGPX, yeah, who organized this meeting. Yeah, we have already make a collaboration with BPGPX and also other ministry and institution. This is about the future development. This is the project we are planning to do with BPGPX, Halal Certification Platform. Right now, we have an initial result that we have been reducing the halal certification process from months to only days. And maybe the target is 21 days. According to the regulation in Indonesia, hopefully in few weeks, it can be realized. This is the path towards the speed and also accurate certification process. Without blockchain, it could be impossible to make a certification, speed and also on time, because we need to trace the halalness of the product in very short time. So this is the algorithm, because blockchain is computer stuff. This is the algorithm of blockchain technology. In this case, the artificial intelligence serves as the feeder for the blockchain. Right now, we try to manage the data so it can be read quickly by blockchain. The data is now still noisy. The data in Indonesia is not quite good, so we need to what we call to prepare that, to make up the data so they can be read by the blockchain platform. This is actually strategic planning for the future, intended for medium and large industry, not only for small and medium industry. So we want to make what we call the halal traceability blockchain platform under coordination of BPGPX, and in this case, IPB University act as the technology advisor. And then, of course, we could collaborate with other universities, with also implementation agencies, because as I mentioned before, blockchain is not only about the technology, it's about the people also and so on. And then we want to make it by ourselves. We want to realize the Indonesian blockchain platform. We don't want to, because our human resource is quite good, so it is possible for us to make a blockchain. Need also support from all stakeholders, and it is expected to be finished in 2024. So we have a very good, halal traceability platform with blockchain, and then we can use it not only for our country, Indonesia. Hopefully in regional level, we can also use blockchain for Malaysia, for Singapore, for Thailand. We can collaborate. We can connect our blockchain to the other countries, our neighbor blockchain. It is possible. And at the end, we could connect our blockchain technology to the world blockchain. So we want to, we want to build, international or global blockchain platform. So with that, hopefully we can achieve Indonesia, as our, goals to make Indonesia as the center of halal product, center of world halal product. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Pak Prof. Yandra. Please take a seat. I think I have still one question for you, but after all, later on I will ask you about the readiness of the ecosystem of Indonesia, especially for the industry side. Now, I think before we proceed, our speaker, eminent speaker here in this stage, I would like to invite Fazal Bahardin from Singapore. He's online from Singapore. He will update us about the tourism, halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism, or depending on definition he will use. Pak Fazal Bahardin, hello.
Assalamualaikum, Pak Sapta. How are you doing?
How are you?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, doing well.
That's
doing
good,
well.
yeah. Please, you
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear clearly.
All right.
Clearly, no problem. From Singapore is nearby, right? Just
Okay.
please update about halal tourism or Muslim-friendly tourism. With us here, there's so many audience, you know. There's also online, hybrid and online.
Right.
Yeah, and of course, what's the difference before and after pandemic COVID, right? And also the last one,
right?
Update also about the potential of tourism from over the world to Indonesia and also via Singapore, please.
Right. So thanks, Pak Sapta. Assalamualaikum. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thanks for inviting me for this session. I'm really sorry that I couldn't make it all the way to Jakarta, unfortunately. So the topic that I was given per Sapta, which I had prepared, if you can see my screen, I think hopefully, is on the sustainable halal tourism in post-pandemic era. I hope you can see my screen. So that's what I have prepared, a brief overview of my thoughts on that topic. I think this topic of sustainability has been even before the COVID-19 started. Sustainability in tourism was a very trending topic. A lot of people were interested in this topic. How to make tourism more sustainable, and also among the Muslim travelers, this had more relevance to them as well. Especially, I think among the younger travelers, we saw that even before the COVID, that the awareness of making a social impact. Making sure that you give back to the community, making sure when you travel that you protect the environment. So these are some of the things that which already started before the pandemic, and of course in the Muslim travel market, this has much more relevance as well as Muslims. These are some of our this is part and parcel of our faith as well. So I think it started before the pandemic. What pandemic did actually was to really raise to a much higher level the awareness of being community conscious, being environmentally conscious when it comes to travel, when it comes to everything, I think, but in particular the travel. The younger generation are becoming really the agents of social change. We see that in general, but we see that also as we look at the Muslim, we have done quite a bit of studies on the Muslim millennials, and we are releasing another report on the Muslim Gen Zs, and they are definitely more and more looking for travel which has a purpose, there are many names which are being used. Meaningful experiences are something that more and more people are using. So they are also getting drawn towards a meaningful experience, so that they can contribute to the communities that they visit, and also not harming and protecting the environment. Environmental issues are huge today. We see what's going on in terms of floods, in terms of forest fires all over the world. So I think these are real issues that we are facing now. And I think the Muslim travelers are incorporating them into their travel, I would say travel intentions, and especially so among the younger travelers. How do you?
Brother, I just want to
Yeah.
make sure. How about the senior? This is less concerned about the sustainability. What do you think?
I think it's not less concern. I think all of them are concerned. It's that the level of exposure the young people get are much higher to this subject than the older people who are not really, in and out of the internet and, looking at, what's going on. I think it's the level of exposure, I would say the digitally savvy younger people are getting, that's driving them to be much more, I would say much more interested and much more wanting to contribute to this than the older people. I think it's not about them not interested, it's that they are not really exposed to that level compared to the younger people.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we all, whether you're young or old, we are taught as Muslims that we need to take care of communities, we need to take care of, the environment. This is our, part and parcel of the DNA of Muslims. It's just that the current awareness is much higher among the younger population. Does it answer your question, Pasapta?
Yes. Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Okay. You can still continue. You have still time. 2-3
All
minutes.
right.
Okay.
So I think so we actually see that a lot of people are now beginning to choose, intentionally choose, eco-friendly travel options. We are looking, especially youngsters. Recently, we did a tour to Uzbekistan, a tour package to Uzbekistan, which was also really getting much more deeper into the history of Uzbekistan, understanding Uzbekistan from a very deeper level. So this trip that we did for Uzbekistan was, I mean, everybody now goes to Uzbekistan. I think Pasafta has been there many times during the last 12 months, I think. Uzbekistan has a lot of Islamic history, but what we wanted to do with this tour was, to really get somebody in the tour who can also relate to how these many scholars of Uzbekistan in 1,000 years ago, or 800-900 years ago, how they contributed to the Muslim community, how they became legends like Imam Bukhari, Imam Tirmizi, Imam Muslim. So we wanted to really connect them with the local history much deeper than a travel guide or a tour guide would do. So that was really interesting, and a lot of people joined the program. So I think these are the things that the especially Muslim tourists are looking to also look at the local communities, give back, protect the environment, and also get a deep dive into the Islamic heritage of the location. So travel, I think more and more, it's still a small, I would say it's still a small subsegment of the travel market. I mean, still most of the general travelers are still going for general sightseeing, shopping, and beach, which are the main things. But there is a growing population now, growing travelers, especially among the Muslims as well, who are looking for what they call meaningful travel, where they can look after these things like what I mentioned before. So I think that's something that we will see more and more. So what we actually did, this is what we did in 2019. So 2019. When we launched the Global Muslim Travel Index in Jakarta, where Pasafta was there as well, in April of 2019, we launched what we call Halal Travel Development Goals, where we identified 5 goals, and one of the goals, which is number 5 here, we introduced the well-being and sustainable tourism. So this was before we, the pre-pandemic. So because we really identified when we continue to do research in terms of our online surveys and all that, we realized that this is a subject that more and more Muslims are getting interested in. So that was part of the Halal Travel Development Goals that we sort of structured so that it makes easier for travel stakeholders to look at when they are building products and services to the Muslim market. We also in 2019 we also introduced the what are the key drivers for the Halal Travel 2.0. Of course, this we stated in 2019, and then it all stopped in the next 2 years, 2020, 2021. But we still see, in terms of the key drivers going forward in the halal travel market, social activism, responsible and accessible tourism will continue to be key drivers, and even more so now than when we talked about in 2019. We also, in our model of faith-based service needs, which is the model that we use in terms of what are the key needs of Muslim travelers when they travel. Once again, 2019 was Global Muslim Travel Index 2019 was one of the key GMTI reports that we have released, where we introduced a number of new elements to it. And one of the things that we did was we updated the faith-based needs model with introducing social causes and local Muslim experiences as some of the important faith-based needs that needs to be taken into account when you're building services and product for the Muslim market. So I'm running out of time. Once again, I just wanted to reiterate our Global Muslim Travel Index 2022 that we released in Singapore about 2 months ago, where we are looking at and restating some of those sustainable tourism elements that we need to take into account. So this year, in the Global Muslim Travel Index, Global Muslim Travel Index, where we rank 140 destinations, how Muslim friendly they are based on the ACES model. And in this year's model, we also introduced under the environment category sustainability initiatives. Here going forward, we're also going to see how the destinations are, what are the sustainability initiatives the destinations are taking in the tourism field. So this is going to be one of the criteria in our ranking going forward. And then I think that's probably it, Sapta. So I think just to summarize, I think the sustainability initiatives are going to be key both for destinations as well as for travelers who are visiting those destinations.
Yeah, thank you, brother Barin Fajal. Give a round of applause for him. Yeah, thank you.
Very much.
But I do hope you stay online. You can also see or following our discussion. You have a potential destination. There is some brother from Chile here and from German, and others also from Lithuania. Maybe also potential destination after Uzbekistan. What we said, right? Okay,
thank
brother.
you. I'll be online. I'll put off my mic and my camera.
Yeah. All right. And I would like, as you know, our brother from Lithuania, you have to be patient a little bit because I would like to give a chance first for our brother from Chile. I'm so sorry if I pronounce not correctly your name, Abdelmour Hidalgo Wallace. Is it correct? Yes, please. You want to speak Spain or English? Okay, English, Arab, and Spanish. You know, habla español, right? Please, thank you, brother. This is from Chile, Santiago. It's far away. 24 hours flight, right?
2.5 days for come here.
Okay.
Wallah, this very one big trip.
Yeah.
Wallah.
Yeah.
But alhamdulillah, I'm very happy.
You have a wonderful country, and as that our brother in Bazada will note it as also pro halal tourism destination.
Sure. Welcome.
Please, you can start your presentation.
Before, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Before I need give my merciful for the organization, for Indonesian government and GBP Aceh about the halal authority here in Indonesia. And thank you very much for my brother Muhammad Zan, because he's very special person. Because you know this organization is not easy. I know this system is not easy. Wallahi, I am sure you have many people here in no sleep for or make this event because it's very, very difficult. But Alhamdulillah, I give my thank for Mr. Ambassador from Chile. He come here for sport, and Mr. Fernando from Ministry of Agriculture from Chile. My English is not very good, but Alhamdulillah, I try for this intervention. Today, I talk about the halal in a country with the minority Islamic community. You know, this situation is not easy. But I give you one little video for Chile, for you explain, because nobody know where is Chile, what is exactly this country, because it's very far from here. Please, this video.
En lo más profundo del sur y la Patagonia chilena, verde, amplia y fértil, nacen y se crían animales a base de pastoreo libre, con procesos y manejos 100% naturales y libre de hormonas, rodeados de volcanes, ríos, lagos y montañas vírgenes. Un verdadero paraíso para los bovinos de razas Angus y Hereford. El proceso de crianza se realiza bajo los más altos estándares de calidad, seguridad alimentaria, bienestar animal y con la más moderna tecnología para su certificación halal y trazabilidad. La mayor producción de corderos se concentra en la zona austral de Chile, específicamente en Magallanes, lugar de extensas praderas y tiernos pastos, en un lugar lleno de historia y cultura chilena, quienes por siglos han conservado esta arraigada tradición. Para la exportación halal de estas carnes se cumplen los más altos estándares de calidad y seguridad alimentaria. Estos corderos crecen y se alimentan de pastoreo libre en condiciones naturales incomparables, lo que les da un sabor único debido a las particulares condiciones de crianza. Este producto es reconocido mundialmente por su sabor único y destacado valor nutricional. Los colmenares se encuentran a lo largo de todo Chile, con una mayor concentración en la zona centro-sur, siendo así un país con la particularidad de producir y cultivar variedades de mieles con diferentes propiedades. Su recolección se lleva a cabo en praderas y bosques nativos, pudiendo así desarrollarse de manera libre y natural con los cuidados más estrictos en los manejos. La variedad de la miel dependerá exclusivamente de la alimentación de las abejas, siendo el ulmo, quillay y otros árboles autóctonos lo que le aportará una identidad y calidad única, logrando así una gran brecha de diferenciación en calidad nutricional y biológica. Nuestro salmón del Pacífico Sur. Producidos en los fiordos más australes del mundo, caracterizados por su rica y diversa fauna marina y rodeados de vírgenes montañas. Su producción y selección está basada en los más altos estándares de sustentabilidad con conciencia social hacia la comunidad que lo rodea. La modernidad y rigurosidad de sus procesos garantiza un producto de alta calidad, delicioso sabor, atractivo color y suave textura, características principales de nuestro salmón chileno. Destaca también su alto valor nutricional, excelente fuente de proteínas saludables, rico en ácidos grasos esenciales, nutrientes y vitaminas. Sus cultivos se encuentran principalmente en la zona central de Chile, en praderas cuyos manejos son excepcionales, teniendo en cuenta la sustentabilidad y buen uso de los recursos naturales, aprovechando las condiciones del clima, logrando entregar así un producto altamente saludable, rico en vitaminas, minerales y ácidos grasos esenciales e intenso, y característico sabor único en el mundo. Nuestro Centro de Certificación Halal de Chile acompaña a los productores chilenos desde hace 12 años, garantizando a los consumidores un producto de alta calidad, velando sobre una economía sustentable y con los más altos estándares en los procesos halal. Chile Halal, su certificadora halal nacional.
Jazakallah khairan. This video is very long, but it's very important because this country, you have very good place in the world for many products, with the salmon, with the almond, nuts. You know the situation in South America. You have very big country, Brazil, Argentina, but Chile is very little. Little and community because you have 6,000 Muslim people here, no more. But this Muslim is very active. He have good intention. And you know, you have many countries in South America, Uruguay, Paraguay, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Salvador, and Panama. These countries, he have little community, but he no have solution for the halal for any days. For eat halal is very important. But this action with the Chile Halal, it changed this system with this little community. It's sure it's very difficult we compare with Brazil or Argentina because this is the first place in the world, Brazil with the chicken and Argentina with the beef. Alhamdulillah, the situation with the halal now with this country, we have solution with the beef halal in all supermarkets. Why is important for this community? You have halal for it, but this halal is one solution for it, but one solution for work, for economic stability for this community. Because this halal is not only make halal, it is not only make Bismillah, Allahu Akbar, and you make beef. It's very important your action in this country because this country, you have this community, it needs work, it needs this benefits about the halal market. Sure, this Indonesia is very big country, 208 million people in Prox, 220 million people, subhanAllah, is very incredible. It's very big country, subhanAllah. And this, I am sure, this country from South America, example Chile or Bolivia, Peru, he have intention for try for have halal, sure, with the halal, with the quality. Before time when I go in Chile, 12 years before, when I talked with this company, Mister, please, I come for make halal with your company. Say, what is halal? You crazy? Halal is not for us. Okay, go. Say, please, you wait me, I explain about halal. This person is not listen me. Say, okay. When you have something very strong, you come back. Or say, okay, what I make? What is the solution? Because this person don't listen me. I explain about halal, I talk about Allah, about Rasul, about interest about the halal, but this person is not listen me. Say, you have many confusion, Mr. Hidalgo. Muchas gracias. I say, please.
Thank you. Before you're going to take a seat, I just would like to ask you, this is true or not? You organize every year or 2 years before the pandemic COVID, the Halal Expo.
Yes, this is my idea now.
Yeah. You know, even Chile, only just small population Muslim, but they're doing Halal Expo in America Latin, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
you exporting more lamb chop. I like lamb chop, you know. There's not side effect, but the front effect. That's very good.
No, but Alhamdulillah, this idea is very, very, very interesting. 12 years before, we organized 2 activities. This halal exhibition and this about the standard halal.
Okay. Thank you, Abner. Can you take seat
again? Okay. Thank you very much.
You want participate in the Halal Expo in Chile, please just go contact him. Only just 24 hours flight there, and then we can enjoy also the panorama. Right? Barakallah fikum. All right, we continue with our brother from World Halal Global, yes, World Halal Council, Jackie Gradidi. I'm sorry for not correctly pronounce your name. Please take.
Assalamu alaikum. Distinguished guests, respected officers of Indonesia, and also online guests, yes. First of all, I would like to thank you to be in this room today for this very important meeting organized by BPGPH. It's a great honor for me to present my speech on behalf of the World Halal Council. I thank cordially the preparation of BPGPH, especially Brother Zen, who organized this wonderful event. I have only 10 minutes, so I will speed up. Halal belongs to Allah, and Allah helps the ones who help His religion. Without the blessings of Allah, we are nothing. As HCBs, we are the part of the HCB. The quality of our job is more important as our work is only for the consent of Allah. Halal certification is not in its infancy anymore. It is now mature after more than 56 years of achievement. Alhamdulillah, Halal has become a major ecosystem in itself, where millions of Muslims work for the benefit of Muslims worldwide. So Halal is not limited to certifying, as it has now begun to lead the way for safe and healthy harvesting, producing, preserving, distribution, and marketing. In other words, Halal has evolved into a real industry. And this is the good part. The other part is Halal certifying is also transformed, and now certifying is applicable almost everywhere. That brings many opportunities and new Halal certifying bodies into the system. And as it gets bigger, as the Halal gets bigger, the problems become more complicated. I will now talk about a few problems that we see. It's important to note that Halal certification is not a business. It's a noble means to serve Muslims and the wider community. As Muslims, we are duty-bound to support, cooperate, and assist each other, especially in the noble service of halal provision for the global Muslim Ummah. Allah Ta'ala commands in the Quran, and cooperate with each other in deeds of righteousness and virtue, and do not assist one another in acts of sins and aggression. Surah 5, Ayat 2. Globalization and the interdependence make trades of goods and services easier, but also more problematic. As you know, ingredients of even the most basic food product are collected from different parts of the world. Considering that one single HCB cannot check all ingredients for halalness, HCBs around the world should communicate and transparent with each other. In the receiver side of halal certification, I mean the halal certified companies, sometimes even the governmental bodies and other stakeholders tend to perceive halal as a business. When we mean business, we mean money. A few years ago, I was attending a halal convention in Malaysia. One of the speakers, who was a CEO of one of the biggest multinational companies in the world, in his speech, this guy said, halal certification is a lucrative business. I imagine that he thought the HCBs just open up a small office with one table, 2-3 chairs, and get the applications and sign a paper for nothing, and in exchange they get an enormous amount of money. Halal let me correct this one. Halal certificate is not a business in the first place. This is a contradiction because halal certificate is a means to serve Muslims and other people. We see that more and more HCBs are now established, and as more and more HCBs come into the marketplace, price of certifying changes according to supply and demand principle. Newcomers also want to grab a bite of the pie, and this brings the competition. This is understandable from a capitalistic view, but from the Islamic side, this is not thinkable. Rules of the play must be only as per the Islamic rules. That means we have to protect Muslims by doing our work better, and our competition must be only to give the better service. If your organization can serve the Ummah better than my organization, you deserve to be the certifier. Allah likes the ones who do their work better. Communication is, alhamdulillah, much easier compared to 10 years ago. Thus, communication should play an important part in our work and supposedly facilitate our work. But is that the case? Although everything seems easier these days, the level of interaction are less. Why? One reason for the lack of communication is competition. HCBs are reluctant to share information for three main reasons. One, they are bound by the non-disclosure agreement they do with their clients. This is acceptable and understandable. Second, they are afraid that their competitor HCB can steal their customer by offering better prices, better payment options, easier certification, and maybe longer certificate validity. Number three, they don't want to be questioned. Possible causes for HCB may be a few low-quality certification, improper certification, arrogance. In some cases, it will be disclosed that the HCB granted the certificate without even doing the proper audits. Another point is that the so-called lucrative business brings many non-Muslim opportunities to the field. These non-Muslim opportunities just open up HCBs as companies or associations, and without any Islamic knowledge, they just give away some papers. I observed that one reason for non-Muslim intervention in halal certification is probably the endless competition among Muslim certifiers. Some HCBs compete with others just for the grabbing customer by reducing prices, giving longer terms and something like that. These are all unacceptable. So far, we have counted a few issues in halal certifying. In summary, we can say that we have problems in non-Muslim intervention into halal certifying, unnecessary competition among Muslim certificates, and lack of communication between the HCBs. Our philosophy in halal certification should depend on the three following criteria. One is halal and tayyib. You already know what it is. The second one, maslahat of Muslim. The third one is the taqwa principle. I am not going into details of halal and tayyib, as you already know. But what is maslahat of Muslims? When we say that it is interest of general Muslim public. Sometimes the product, we see that. Sometimes the product itself or the producer company does not deserve to be certified. For example, some companies mock Islamic values, ban headscarf for Muslim ladies, don't allow praying. They may also support different kinds of un-Islamic behaviors or acts as we know as sin. Like they claim support for homosexuality, adultery, etc. But on the other hand, they want to get halal certificate. I am not going into more details, but if the applicant does not respect Islam, there is no halal certification. Taqwa, in a glorious Quran, Allah dictates the word taqwa 58 times. So it's an important word. One important thing is that we are here to serve the Islam and Muslims and not to serve the industry. That means we must be very strict as HCBs. Follow the protocols and not tolerate. Because, as I said, we are to serve the Muslims, not to serve the industry. Taqwa means, our certification must guarantee that the most muttaqi person, the person who has the most taqwa, should be able to consume the product without questioning. This will be safer for everyone and will increase the standard. Consider stunning, for example. When you open doors to stunning, industry always finds cheaper ways to stun and convince or sometimes enforce other parties to accept it. Remember the gas stunning? While we were discussing whether we could accept water-based stunning, some European countries allowed gas stunning as the only acceptable method. As Muslims, shall we accept such pressure? We are implying that we must be the ones, the HCBs and Muslims, that will say how to do it and what to do it. What we say and eventually accept must be only Islamic. If it doesn't conform to Islam, there is no certifying. I'll give one example. HCBs, for example, in the slaughterhouses, we install high-speed, high-quality cameras to check and monitor the slaughterhouse. It's an additional cost for the slaughterhouse, but this way we can monitor and check the activities of the slaughterhouse 24/7. A few words for the one halal standard. HCBs have been discussing one halal standard for a long time. After almost 40-50 years, we can say that different groups prepared several standards and guidelines for halal certification. WHC, I mean World Halal Council, is one of the first among them, and I proudly say that WHC standard halal guidelines is the real guide that can be easily adopted and followed.
Brother Siddiq, could you please make it more shorter?
Yes, okay, just finishing. One last word about the ISO standards. Authorities adopt the ISO principles and embed them into halal. In some places, having ISO implemented open doors to recognition and accreditation. Same logic for the HCB. This is critical and problematic because none of the ISO standards can cover halal certification principles at all. Halal certification is completely different procedure. If the applicant company has to implement a new management and quality assurance system for halal production, so be it. We cannot sacrifice halal for a standard like ISO. I have few words, but should I continue? 30 seconds.
Pardon?
I need 30 seconds only. 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, because the time is, our time is limited. Please, because also there is online.
Yes,
there's online there.
Yeah, as Muslims, we should develop a strong and responsible work ethic. This is actually what is missing in halal certification. ISO or other steps do not bring the ethic to HCB. In the slide you see, as WHC members, we follow a set of rules which we call as code of ethic, and all our members are bound with these rules. I cannot go to the details, but for anyone I can share it. I believe that HCBs that conform to the above criteria can and should communicate and exchange information for the benefit of better certifying. Now, may Allah show us the right path for us all, and especially those who don't comply. That's all from me today. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Give a round of applause to our brother Siddiq from World Halal Council. Yes. Please, Pak Mahmud. Yeah, he's from Germany, and he will explain us about halal integrity. You also have 12 minutes. Please, your 10 minutes, yeah. 2, I give you a chance for after, right? Yes.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Integrity, which is based on ethical values and which is an integral Dini requirement, is key to build trust and confidence. Hence, it provides the ability to create true added value. Ladies and gentlemen, confidence through integrity, moreover, ensures the sustainability, and recognition of the ethical halal tayyib concept in the world. It allows global halal trade to flourish to the benefit of all stakeholders and humanity at large. The success factor of the global halal ecosystem is very much depending on the ability and degree to which confidence can be conveyed in its halal products and services. The higher the confidence, the more cooperation, opportunities, and wealth can be created. Ladies and gentlemen, so we have to understand and realize that confidence is actually the real currency of the halal market. In terms of certification and conformity systems, the OIC SMIC and ISO standards are identifying the conveyance of confidence as being a key objective. With other words, the value of certification is generated by the degree of confidence and trust that can be established among interested parties. So the mission should be to foster public trust and confidence in halal services and products through an integrity infrastructure with an achievement of excellence. We need to systematically integrate integrity in the systems and to measure effectiveness of that through a systematic approach. Integrity is based on ethical values like honesty, decency, trustworthiness, responsibility, and other virtues. We as Muslims take it from the Sharia sources, from the Quran, from Sunnah, from Ijma' and Qiyas. What is needed? We need to have a global halal code of conduct. We need to agree globally, or we need to agree on a halal code of conduct and implement a halal code of conduct in all Muslim institutions, in standard organizations, in accreditation bodies, in certification bodies, in organizations and institutions which are in the service of the public. Because, and it is really important, you can have the best system implemented and you can work according to all standards, but if you have no decency, this will lead to corruption. So, knowledge without decency leads to corruption. It is very simple. So, on the other hand, we need to foster or to enforce the systematic integrity approach based on quality, based on compliance, based on competence, and to reach excellence through good practices. This system will enable the production of the development and issuance or production of good results. So, an added value for the society. So, this system is very crucial. I also want to highlight that ethical values are integral Dini requirements. So to apply in ethics in our systems and our work is crucial. Muhammad Rasulullah was a very ethical person and prophet, and all other prophets too. So we need to apply competence and a systematic approach for the effectiveness to make sure integrity is implemented well. So through this integrity and through this ethical values, which is a very magical thing, is the ethical values is also a basis where we can work with other people also, because they have also the same ethical values. These ethical values are universal values. It is very magical because we can meet on this platform together. We can convince the people that by implementing the good results and providing added value plus the ethical values, the people can agree and can also agree with the halal tayyib concept. This is very important. And through that, we can win hearts and minds of the people because they see the good things from the system. When we can make the confidence or can convey the confidence, we can make cooperation, sustainable cooperation. And with everybody, not only among Muslims, I mean really with everybody, because the system is a system that is very beneficial for all people. So through this cooperation, we can generate or develop or work on or produce true added value for us all, not only for Muslims, for the whole society, for everybody, for the family, for the company, for the whole society. It is very also important to understand that. So after we create the added value, I'm sorry, can you go back? Yeah, okay. We may get recognition from the society, and most importantly for us Muslims, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This system can generate a positive feedback, a continuous positive feedback on barakah. So we can. This is today's global halal assurance system, where different stakeholders are working to assure the halal integrity of products and to convey confidence to the interested parties. So we have the standard organizations on the international level, on the regional level, and on the national levels. We have the accreditation bodies and the certification bodies, all working in the systems just to aim to increase the trust into the system. Actually, and also the manufacturing or the industry, we are thankful that the industry is implementing the halal standards, and many are really implementing it in a very trustful way. So halal is here also well accepted in the industry, and this is a very good development. Actually, we have global consensus, you can say, what halal is and how we understand halal. So when we look into standards, there is, you can say, really a global standard, global consensus of it. However, the standards, this concept actually is not able to identify frauds like corruption, like criminal conduct in the background, or like also evil lobbyism, which leads to intimidation of maybe certification bodies. So because of because decency is not applied well in this conformity complex, especially I can say in the certification area.
Brother Mahmoud,
yeah,
I just remind you.
Okay, thank you. I need just a couple of minutes. So we have the problems that the accreditation is not well accepted between the certification bodies, which have the perception that that the accreditation is just a business facilitator. We have players that just have the accreditation, but because of the lack of decency, they just offer, for example, certification, cheap, easy, and fast. And this leads to the perception on the consumer side that this is a business case, a business issue. And also, the certification, the accreditation, because we have different accreditation, the accreditation is very costly, so also small and newcomers in the certification cannot participate on the global halal assurance system. So this is also a problem here. So is the global halal assurance effective enough meeting the goals on halal integrity? We have the unethical and un-Islamic competition, the criminal conducts, the manipulation, the frauds, the massive conflicts of interest, intimidation. We have corruption in the halal compliance sector, which is a massive growing threat to halal economy. We have also industry players should not work with players who promise fast and easy and cheap certification. And this all leads to the integrity of the global halal assurance system being undermined and trust in the halal economy being tarnished and compromised. So it is of paramount importance to increase the linkage between transparency and the public-private cooperation to disseminate best practices and massive investments in the halal integrity infrastructure. What we need is not a cosmetic, cosmetic changes in the halal in the compliance system. We need a real paradigm change here. We need to increase the compliance with the same seriousness, with the same endeavor that which we are forcing also the development of the halal industry. So we need to have some balance here. Here is today we have a misbalance between the wish to increase the halal economy, but the halal conformity is not yet really met. What we want to emphasize and want to say is that the accreditation body, or like the international standardization bodies on regional and national level should work under one umbrella. And I see here the OIC the best possibility and opportunity to increase the regulatory on compliance network requirements in order, for example, to implement anti-corruption standards and other standards in the halal ecosystem, in the halal standardization. We there is a need to implement a halal code of conduct, and what can help to solve this or to increase the integrity globally is an establishment of a global integrity network where many experts can work together on the platform. So we should start with halal integrity task groups, and then with conferences, and then with a permanent global halal integrity forum, where we have the topics, for example, the quality mechanisms, compliance issues, good governance, excellence, the competence, and also the good practices. So we should also to make or to have a global awareness program on halal integrity also until under our Islamic institutions from top to down. What we need is a real honest...
Brother Mahmoud, please. Yeah, please.
1 minute. What we need is really a honest leadership that enforce good governance practices and good governance practices. So we need also here a leadership training where we can develop this section. We need anti-corruption standards in the halal regulatory systems and an implementation and rollout of quality infrastructure in Muslim institutions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for I had to give some reminding for you. Sorry for that, because our brother from Lithuania waiting for us. He want really to joining this conference from Lithuania. I think this is European, is Europe, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Abdul. Yeah. Hello, brother Azinov from Lithuania. I think you want to share your experience in certification, and you also want to have collaboration or cooperation with Indonesia and with other countries for certification and harmonization of certification in the other countries. Please, brother Azinov.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Thank you very much for your invitation. Unfortunately, this time I cannot attend physically, but inshallah, if today after my speech you will invite me next year the same time and the same events, I will happy attend physically, inshallah. So first of all, I would like to say personally for the personal affairs to BPJPH and for the Brother Muhammad Zan. And also I'm very happy to hear today regarding unification and implementation of the single standard global, inshallah. And also I want to say personal thanks to Brother Mahmoud Tatari, because he talked about very important things about the corruption in whole global halal industry. This is important things. It's really important things. So,
brother,
my name is Farouk
just
Hazim,
remind you, you have 10 minutes, right? Thank you.
Okay. I will try very shortly explain. So, halal certification industry is a huge industry. It's more than $1 billion per year, alhamdulillah, but we have a lot of problems. And now, because in whole world is around 1,000 halal certification bodies is providing activities, halal certification activities. It means that only 100 of them have accreditation, global, international or national accreditation or recognition. The problem is now I understand someone, because now every Muslim community, Islamic center, muftiats, mosque, want to start provide halal certification activities. But the problem is they don't have any professional staff. They are not implement any standards. They do halal certification, just visit a slaughterhouse or some another production and give them the certificate. This is a problem. The rest of them don't want to get accreditation or cannot afford it. Those which can are forced to increase fees for halal certification, and this increases prices of the products for all Muslims. What this means? Just think about this. We, as I am also halal certification bodies, we spend a lot of money for the accreditation, recognition, accreditations, and these prices increase, the fees increasing for the price for the products, and majority of the production which is produced halal products for our Muslim communities, the owners is a non-Muslim, and we make them more rich. That's it. And we are trying to spend our Muslim brothers and sisters their money very fast for the paying for extra for the just for halal certification. In global recognition issue, 57 OIC countries, Muslim countries. Now is in Malaysia, Indonesia, Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and in Qatar, they implement some system, accreditation or recognition process. In Saudi Arabia, very strange. You need, if you want to export in Saudi Arabia, you should have accreditation, then you should register in SASO, then you will get SFJ recognition. It's very strange. It's very long process. You know, sometimes some accreditation or recognition process is taking more than 2, 4, or 6 months. You know, and the majority of them charge fees for the recognition, but their requirements are the same. Many of these recognitions do not even work because they don't have professional staff, no English knowledge, no implemented procedures or process. And what happens if each Muslim country will implement its own SHAM? Just think about this. If 57 Muslim countries will implement own SHAM, how many times every halal certification body will spend for every recognition or accreditation, and how much money we will spend every year? It's also very strange. You know, it's very difficult. And all OIC countries shall be motivated to develop and implement a single recognition scheme, which will be accepted by all OIC countries. One single standard is needed for this. Today, I heard also that Indonesia, until 2024, want to be establish a global halal hub. It's very good news, alhamdulillah. And the OIC's mixed standard was developed by the OIC Council, but it is not accepted by the majority of OIC countries. It's sorry, but my words, but it's joke. How it's possible? All OIC countries is developed SMIC standard, established SMIC institute, but they not accept their standards. It's I don't know, it's fantastic. There is need a strong voice for the halal CBs from over the world. The Association of Halal Certifiers is only association of halal CB what is not influenced by any government or organization. Its purpose, it is not protect interests of halal CBs and give them one strong voice. Unfortunately, its activity was fully stopped during COVID-19 pandemics. Now we are starting to work with accreditation and recognition bodies and over the world to find the best solution for the halal industry and to all Muslim community, inshallah. Many different venues in different countries host various events related to halal. They are visited by a lot of different organizations and people from around the world to discuss different topics, including halal. Matters such as protections of halal industry, development of halal market are being discussed. Numerous programs, apps, QR codes, and blockchain are being developed. All of this very good and useful. However, it will not fully work until we are united. The unification in our industry is very important. The interesting fact, Islam is one single religion, alhamdulillah, where halal shall be single as well. We need a single standard and single recognition for all OIC countries. Biggest Muslim countries such as Indonesia or Turkey shall start the implementation of such as HAM and call a Muslim countries to join it. Because you are bigger Muslim, your voice is very important for the global halal industry. We need to make halal easy and affordable for all Muslims and not complicate it. We are Muslims, alhamdulillah. We worship Allah alone and we follow the sunnah of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we cannot provide different values, beliefs, and requirements as we are following one single truth. Let's make dua, ask Allah Almighty to guide us on the right path, to unite in halal, and to strengthen our iman while trying to achieve this noble goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zinob. I think it's a very good intervention. I just would like to ask you just small things. Can you give a comment about the process of halal certification in Singapore, MUIS? What do you think? Is faster, less than complicated, or how? What do you think, according to your experience?
Now, as I know, they give before 13th of June the transaction period for the halal certification bodies. After 1 year, they give this halal recognition, or I think it's recognition to some European company which is providing some auditing or something.
Yeah.
But yes.
Okay. Thank you, Brother Zinob. There's this morning also, I think my friend from SMIC, the Secretary General, Iksan Ogut, has been explaining for us. We still in ongoing process to have the mutual recognition among OIC country. Be patient, inshallah, will be there is single identity, what you also expected, right? Okay. Thank you for Lithuania. What time is it in Lithuania? I'm scared.
Lithuania, 12:40 p.m.
Oh, yes, 5 hours different.
After 40 minutes, we have a Juma prayer, inshallah.
Okay, and then see you next time, maybe in Jakarta. Okay?
Inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your very interesting remark and presentation. Now we come not really to the end, but almost the end, because only one speaker, our friend and brother from Jakarta, Pak Abdal, is from KNKS. You can explain what is KNKS and etc. He would like to explain to us and to audience. The title is very interesting. Yeah. Here he said, the next stage of halal industry, a master plan in Indonesia. And this futuristic from this time, maybe until next 5 or 2 years advance. Pak Abdal, I think the time's yours. You have also 10 minutes. Yeah, please.
Thank you, Pak Sabta. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Distinguished guests, participants, brothers and sisters, and all the speakers. MashaAllah, today we discussed a lot about halal, but now I'm trying to give something different. What Indonesia doing now related to the halal industry development. Now we're talking about the halal certifications, but how to develop the halal industry. This is the presentation. Okay. So, as you know, Indonesia is the biggest market for the halal product in the world. We recognize this, but we don't want only to become a market. We want to be also the biggest producers halal product in the world. That's why we are preparing for that. So what we are doing for the next 5 years, 2023 until 2029, is in our master plan of the halal industry. Our vice presidents chair the KNKS, the special committee
for the Islamic economy development, Islamic finance development. So Indonesia towards global halal product hub in 2024. That's the goal. That's why we want to have a master plan. We want to have the road to become the global hub. So Bapak Wakil Presiden dan Bapak Presiden already announced its goals, and the master plan will be completed by end of this year and will be launched soon. So what are the master plan will be focusing? There are 4 sectors: halal food and beverage as well, cosmetic and pharmaceuticals, fashion, modest fashions. As you can see in other room, many Indonesian designers. Modest fashion is a part of the halal industry, and Muslim-friendly tourism. We know Muslim-friendly tourism is a locomotive for the economy. When tourists come to Indonesia, they need halal food, they want to buy halal product, and want to see the beauty of Indonesia. And what we are doing, the master plan will be connected with our existing master plan and regulations. So we want to embed it, the halal industry into national development strategy. We have halal law, we have master plan Indonesia Islamic Finance Development, already launched 2016. Many Islamic banks growth in Indonesia, and we know one of the biggest Islamic bank in the world, also Bank Syariah Indonesia. It's the merge, it's the product of the Islamic finance development in Indonesia. Master plan of Islamic economy in Indonesia, already launched 2019, and we also have master plan of national industry development. We have a national midterm development plan from our government and the national industry policy. So all this existing strategy, we look at and we try to insert halal industry into our development strategy. So the main strategies consist of 4 pillars. First is policy supports. Yes, we want to strengthen the halal industry regulation as well. Halal product assurance systems, certification and traceability there. Increase industry productivities. This is very important. We want to produce more halal product, not only for Indonesia people, but we want to serve global halal industry, global halal market. So that's why we need to strengthen halal value chain with the excellent skill and competitive human resources, strengthening halal industry business players. We talk with business players in Indonesia. We teach them how to implement halal, how halal become their competitiveness, how halal become the reputable of the business. So that's what we are doing. And also we increase the research and innovations. Also for the Islamic finance, strengthening finance and infrastructures. We know Islamic finance and halal industry is two things like very beautiful in the one single combinations. So that's why inclusive Islamic finance and strengthening halal industry infrastructure must be implemented. So we develop halal industrial estate, we develop halal industrial clusters, and we ask Islamic Bank to finance these developments in Indonesia. And the last pillar is strengthening brands and halal awareness. We know if we have a product, the product must be world class. The product must be high quality. The product must be recognized not only the consumer in Indonesia, but also the consumers around the world. So increasing social preference and halal lifestyle through promotions, education, and also international trade relations. So these are the pillars for the master plans. And to ending my presentation, I want to introduce and encourage all the participants from other countries to join our initiative to do the electronic exchange of the halal certificate. Currently in Indonesia, we developed the codification of halal export and import. So all the certificates published by BPGPH now already connect with the custom data. So all the export and import transactions, exporters can able to report the certificate number. So this, we call it Indonesia National Single Window, will connect with the custom process, will connect with the BPGPH as the issuer of the certifications, and connect with the other country national single window for the custom. So currently, if you're doing trade with Indonesia, we know, for example, like certificates of origin, the next certificates of halal will be one of the requirements. So with these declarations of halal certificates in the, what we call it, pemberitahuan ekspor barang, will be the features of these codifications. And HS code mapping for the halal. You know, when we talk about the halal industry, yes, we speak about the trillion US dollars number, but what exactly the numbers? We don't have any statistic. How much the halal product export? How much halal product import? Because why? The custom process does not linkage with the halal process yet. That's why Indonesia will try to implement this and already implement for the export. And we encourage all the country first in the ASEAN country, the Southeast Asia, will do the recognition for the halal certifications electronics. So in Indonesia export customs process, there is a code, we call it 952 code for the halal certifications. It's already there. It's very good things in our systems. And the existing producers in Indonesia already implement, report their halal product in their custom process. The feature of this, other country who receive the Indonesia product can request the electronic data exchange with our custom process. So in the future, I think halal will be global, halal will be digital, halal will be transparent. The integrity of the halal certificates will be maintained in the good way. So that's why I think I want to encourage all the country, all the participants, please speak with your custom organizations, with your custom authority. Let's start the exchange of halal certification through the global trade mechanism. That's my presentations. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wow. Thank you, Pak Abdul. You take our time, about 4 minutes. Interesting, the next master plan. What I just remind what former Prime Minister Churchill said, if you fail to plan, you are failing to fail. You are planning to fail. You to fail to plan, you are planning to fail. That's a good planning, right? Detail and precise using the last technology, new technology, blockchain, where from Yandra has been mentioned. Now, as we have come to the end of the session, before that, of course, we would like to have a few comments of last word or final statement or some advice for us, for the audience, also online and offline. I want to start from Pak Yandra first. Pak Yandra, how about the society and also the industry? They are ready to accommodate all related with technology, blockchain and supply chain, I don't know, and then also metaverse and also...
Okay. Thank you, Pak Sapta. Yeah. What I am saying is Indonesia, I think, ready to, achieve its goal to be the halal center for halal product, world halal center. If we have the technology to apply on its supply chain system, yeah. Also mentioned by Afdal before, so we have already the concept for that, and BRAIN, IPB, and BPGPX also have the similar or maybe pretty similar concept. Most focus on the technology. Without the technology, we cannot achieve our goals because technology, especially important, digital technology now is very important for making a good, efficient, and also real-time system, and also fast halal certification, halal traceability, and also halal logistic and management system.
Yeah.
Thank you.
They are more efficient, effective, and also return on investment may be high, right?
Yep.
With the competitiveness. Now I want to invite our brother from Chile. I think I very enjoyable your presentation, especially for salmon and lamb chop. Wow, your presentation is not interesting, also delicious. Okay, what your last comment or last word or final words, or we call closing statement, please.
I just want I say for Jazakallah khair for my collaborator, for my slaughterman. He go he try for this success about the halal certification in South America.
To go say to the audience, yeah.
Jazakallah khair, hermanos de Chile, los que están trabajando siempre con nosotros, muchas gracias y le dedico estas últimas palabras a ustedes. Jazakallah khairan.
Yeah, muchas gracias. Hasta pronto. Adios, amigos, right? Okay.
Así es.
Yeah, that's I just translate from his language. Okay, and then my friend Siddiq from World Halal Council, you have also last what is final statement, please.
Thank you for the chance to speak once more. I'll just make a remark about the unified halal standard. As I mentioned in my speech, countries have already standards, and alhamdulillah now we have standards from everywhere. Every country has a different standard, but in basics they are all the same. It's good. The only thing is that it is important how the HCBs follow the standards. I mean, there are the standards, they are perfect maybe, but how strict the standard is followed is the basic issue. For some HCBs, these standards are only another asset to get recognition or accreditation from another related authority. Recognition has become a business facilitator, especially in Europe, where there are hundreds of HCBs working and operation. The certification business is very competitive. Some of the HCBs say that they are accredited, recognized by this agency or this authority and something like that. But in the end, like I said, it's more important how strict these standards are followed. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Siddiq. My brother Ibrahim, right? Forget. No, there is the name Mahmoud. Right, Mahmoud. I just remember from him, in halal supply chain, there is no corruption. Because corruption is haram. Is it true? Please, your final statement.
Yes, corruption has no place in the halal ecosystem. We need to work together, to cooperate together in order to increase the integrity and to fulfill our religious duties. So, inshallah, we will have success with this. The OIC SMIC is currently working on anti-corruption standards in the halal standardization. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Mahmoud. I would like to invite again, if still on, from Singapore, Bahardin Fazal. Bahardin Fazal, you still there? You're still on? Or you just already gone? Okay. 1, 2, 3. He's already on business. In Singapore, his time is business. Okay, and then last words from KNKS, the strong body from Indonesia. And would you like to give us your final comment or final statement, Pak Abdal?
Thank you, Pak Sapta. Thank you for getting together in this session today. I think to bring halal industry, halal product globally cannot be only Indonesia initiative, but we must work together. We must do it together with all the countries. So let's do together, bring the halal to become to the next level with digital, with the custom transactions, with export, import, with more productions, industrial. So I think in the future, halal product will be the mainstream in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That means halal industry must be, can be successful if we doing together. Like today's in Jum'ah Salat, we have to be berjamaah. That's synergy within every Muslim, every country in the world, especially for the Muslim country. Thank you so much for our eminent speaker from from different countries. Interesting. Time is up for us. Then I will hand over the stage to Master of Ceremony. Please, Rahma. I did also my job. Thank you so much. If there is something mistaken, I do also apologize. Thank you. See you next time. See you next year. Inshallah. Thank you so much for your kind attention and stay until this afternoon. Finish. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you to all incredible speaker and Bapak Sabta Nirwanda. You're such a one of a kind. Thank you. And of course, this moment has to be captured. Please remain on stage. We have to capture this precious moment, gentlemen. Let's take a group photo first. All right. On the count of 3, please be ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's have another shot. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, love the spirit. Okay, thank you so much. Let's give them another round of applause. for all of our wonderful speaker and moderator who have delivered an exceptional discussion. And of course, for all of us who have a strong commitment to advancing the halal industry. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the 4th International Halal Dialogue 2022. It has been an amazing and insightful day. And we would like to invite you to visit our website, www.isf.co.id, for talk show schedules, performances, and other details of the event. We would also like to invite you to visit ISF 2022 International Showcase. We have a variety of exhibitors ranging from modest fashion, food and beverage, Sharia baking booths, and many more. And one more thing, ladies and gentlemen, on your way out, please visit the registration desk as we have prepared special souvenirs and voucher for all participants. Bapak Ibu hadirin yang terhormat, saat keluar menuju ruangan nanti jangan lupa untuk hampiri meja registrasi karena pihak penyelenggara acara sudah menyiapkan kenang-kenangan yang spesial dan juga voucher yang bisa Bapak Ibu gunakan di tenan atau merchant yang ada di area eksibisi. On behalf of the committee, we would like to thank all guests for your participation, and we also offer our sincere apology for any oversight that might occur during the event. I'm Rahma Hayunidia signing off. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you. Have a nice weekend, everybody.